Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on section 11, and this is topic 12, which has to do with density. And density, if you like science, like physical science, then this will be the topic for you because this is basically science. Okay, this talks about density. As you might know, there is a formula for density, and is density is equal to mass divided by volume. And there's something pretty cool that I'm going to show you here on how to work with the formula, how to change it around depending on what they're asking you. I'm sure your science teacher taught you this before, and you have a triangular, the triangular method. And notice what you have is on top, you have mass. Okay, the M stands for mass, the D stands for density, and the V stands for volume. So depending on what you're looking for this formula. Now, if we look at the formula, it says density is equal to mass divided by volume. So look at this. If I'm looking for density, and I'm going to circle D, I'm looking for density, notice what you have. You have mass on top of V, on top of volume. So that's basically mass divided by volume. Okay, so this is how you will go ahead and solve for that problem. Now, let's say I'm looking for volume. They ask you what volume will be. I circle volume, and notice what I have. I have mass divided by density. So that will be the formula to find out what volume will be. Now, let's say we're looking for mass. What is the mass of an object? And in this case, notice now what do we have left over? We have D and V. Well, this line that goes across, this is multiplication. So you will have to multiply D times V to be able to find mass. And if you look at this triangle on the right, that's what this is showing you. So you have mass is being divided by density if you're looking for volume, or if you're looking for density, then it will be mass divided by volume. And then if you're looking for mass, then what you're going to do is you're going to multiply D times V to find out the mass. Okay, so it's very, very, very simple if you use this method. So let's go to a few questions here. And um, and just to, well, let me just go over density. Density is basically, if you don't know what density is how dense an object is, right? And again, this is a science term. How dense, how compact something might be. Then you have mass, which is has to do with weight, and then you have volume, and why does it have velocity here? I have no idea why it's velocity. It's supposed to be volume here. Okay, but now let's take a look at this triangle that is upside down, and this is very important. If we're talking about volume, and let me make this a little bigger if I can so you can see it. If we're talking about volume, look at the unit of measurements. The unit of measurement for volume, it's going to be, this one has centimeter cube. Centimeter cube. Remember that cube is volume. Anything that is cube is going to be volume. Another unit of measurement for volume is milliliter. Okay, you have milliliter. Okay, so that's liquid. Liquid. Anything that has liquid, you're going to see this milliliter. Okay, ml. Now, if you look at density on how dense something is, now you're going to be looking at grams per uh, volume. Okay, so grams over volume, which is centimeter cube, or grams over milliliter. Okay, so it's going to be something like grams over centimeter cube, or milliliter, right? Or grams over milliliter. Okay, so this will be density. When it's talking about density, look at the units. That tells you that's very important. Okay, then we're talking about mass, we're talking about weight. And when we're talking about weight, then in this case it's grams. Okay, it's always going to be in grams, pounds, ounces. Think about that, all right? So let's go over these problems because they're very, very easy. Um, it says a styrofoam carton has a volume. So the keyword right here is volume. We have V is 2,000 cubic centimeters and a density. So we have D um, per cubic centimeter. Calculate the mass. So we're looking for the mass. So if we're going to look at this triangle, we're looking for mass right here. And I have the density and the volume. So in this case, notice what we have to do is we have to multiply. Okay, so we multiply D, which in this case is 0.04 times 2000, and that will be 80. So in this case, the mass is going to be 80. And notice if we talking about mass, look at the unit. Okay, the unit we have is grams. Okay, 80 grams. That's it for that one. So if we look at the second one, there's a stainless steel knife has a density, so we have D, and per cubic centimeter and a mass of 17 grams. So we have the mass. So what we're looking for is, in this case, is the volume. We're looking for V. So I'm going to circle V. And notice I have the mass and the density. So in this case, I have to divide. So in this case, the mass, the mass is 17.4. I will do 17.4 divided by the density, which is 7.5. Okay, and again, the mass is grams, and the density is grams per cubic centimeter. So we have grams over cubic centimeter, and notice that the grams will cancel out. So all you're gonna have left is going to be cubic centimeter. Okay, and that's volume. So we have 17.4 divided by 7.5, and that's 2.32. So the volume here will be 2.32 centimeters cubed. And that's it. Okay. So then we're going to take the last problem here. And the last one says sweet potato has a volume. So we have V, and the mass. So we have the mass. What would be the density? So we're looking for D. So if we look at the triangle, we're looking for D. So to find the density, we need to divide mass divided by volume. In this case, so we're going to do the mass, which is 120. And we're going to divide that by 250. Okay, cubic centimeters. So 120 divided by 250. That is 0.48. Okay, and in this case, since we have the mass, which is grams, and we have 250, which is centimeter cube, centimeter cube. So in this case, the unit is going to be grams per centimeters cube. Okay, and that's how you do it. So just remember, use the triangle to figure out how to find the density, the mass, and the volume. And this would be a worksheet that I created. It's multiple choice. Just be very careful. Read it carefully. But should be an easy one. All right. See you next time.